While You Were Sleeping, Episodes 2 Part 1 inch. While You Were Sleeping, Episodes 2. The prosecutor arrives to question her about the accident, and of course it's Jae-chan. Hong-ju thinks back to how it held her in her dream, but in the present was cold and formal. He's obviously skeptical of her account that Yubum was the driver that night. Jae-chan tells her that Yubum testified the opposite, and we see him telling Jae-chan in flashback that he regretted letting Hong-ju drive in her worried state, when the roads were so slippery. Ugh, you was set. Hong-ju says he lied, but Chief Choi shows her the evidence that's in Yubum's favor, like her blood on the driver's side airbag, and the black box footage from the ambulance that shows her being rescued from the driver's seat, and Yubum being rescued from the passenger's side. She says that Yubum must have changed seats with her while she was unconscious, and wiped the airbag clean of his blood before putting hers on it. Jae-chan doesn't bat an eye and says that's just conjecture, and he believes in evidence over conjecture. She asks what she's supposed to do then, and he advises her to confess so he can deliberate the outcome, because the victim's family is pressing charges. Hong-ju tries calling Yubum, but of course he doesn't answer. All she can do is think about how she'd asked Mom not to leave her all alone in this world, and the next thing we know, she's standing precariously on the edge of the hospital roof, as her aunt and Jae-chan try to talk her down. Jae-chan asks to talk things out, but Hong-ju doesn't see the point when she already told them what happened, but no one will believe her and nothing will change. Jae-chan calls out, "I'll believe you," and begins to walk toward her. Hong-ju says, "How nice would it be if this were a dream, and if it were your dream, and thank you for saying you'd believe me." A tear falls as she closes her eyes, and then she lets go. Jae-chan leaps forward and grabs her hand, but she slips through his grasp. He watches in horror as she falls away from him and then he wakes up in bed. What? Wait, no, seriously, what? It's the morning of Valentine's Day, 2016, thank God, and Jae-chan wonders what kind of a dream feels that real. He tells little bro that he had a weird dream about the neighbor, and little bro says he called it when Hyung said she was rude that first day. That's the start of a typical rom-com. He asks what genre the dream was, and Jae-chan says she died in it, which puts a chill in the air. But they look out the window and Hong-ju's mom is alive and well, so little bro says it's obviously not coming true. He asks why Yubum appeared in the dream, and Jae-chan says he ran into him recently. Little bro gets fired up and asks why he didn't punch his lights out and spit in his face. He decides that Hyung's dream went mock jang by romantically connecting the two people he hates most, Yubum and Hong-ju. Jae-chan takes note that today is Valentine's Day, and makes plans with little bro for after he picks up his new car. That morning he runs into Hong-ju at the bus stop, and decides to just ask if she knows Yubum. She's alarmed at that, thinking he's stalking her, to seduce her, PFFT, while he's alarmed that his dream is turning out to be not so crazy. She gets up to hail a cab and get away from him, so he says he knows it sounds crazy, but that she shouldn't meet Yubum today, or drive in the snow, or go anywhere near a car. He frantically tries to get her to listen, but she just storms off in the cab. Something about the way he talked makes her think of the cigarette man and how he hadn't listened to her warnings, but when she asks the cab driver if it's supposed to snow, he says the forecast is sunny. That night, Jae-chan is startled when everything happens like his dream. While waiting for his brother, he runs into Yubum instead, and Hongju arrives to meet him. Jae-chan scrambles to intervene and asks Yubum to buy him dinner right this instant, but Yubum says he has a date.